Reddit confessions. Not safe for work special. Today I effed up by using my parents' PC. This is still fresh in my mind as I'm typing. I'd take some time out of my daily commute home from night shift to make a detour and spend time with my dad, 71 years young, who spends most of the week alone as my mom, 62, works all day. Today was just a routine visit. My folks live in the country and don't have trash pickup, so I visit with Dad while driving the garbage to the dump. As we are talking, I bring up a video I had seen and suggested I share it with him. He agrees, and once we get back to the house he suggests I find the video while he does something else. Commence F up. My dad has an older model desktop PC that is quite temperamental and only likes to use Google Chrome. I go to open a window and see that my dad has 20+ tabs open. All of them with different profiles on FetLife. For those who don't know, FetLife is like MySpace for people with fetishes, bondage, waterworks, furries, etc. I just brushed it off as my dad being a dirty old man. Unfortunately, the tab I opened Chrome to was my parents' profile page. I not only saw my mother in very revealing garments, I also saw my dad gagged and hog-tied like a pig at a pork roast. So now, not only do I know my parents are pretty kinky, I also know what it looks like when my dad is getting stuffed like a Christmas turkey. Too long, didn't read, opened Google Chrome to share something with my dad, only to find out he gets butt raunched by my mother on the regular. Edit words. EDIT2, wow, my first gold. Thanks, stranger. Edit 3, my wife is a Reddit user and knows her husband posted this from the commute detail. She didn't believe me, so she temporarily created a FetLife account so I could, for once, be right. Now she is very distraught and has told me she can never look at my parents the same. What do?
Stay tuned for more effed up real life stories like, today I effed up by hiding under my girlfriend's duvet while her dad stole my porn. And today I effed up by grabbing my sister's boob. Both stories are coming up later in the video.
Today I effed up by putting naked pictures of myself as my rotating desktop background and flashing my whole office. So, I had some very tasteful nudes that I had done, one at Booteen Fest, and it came up on my Facebook feed. Llama, this time last year you were naked and afraid at XX Photo Studio, and I was like, oh yeah, what happened to those? Then I remembered I saved them on a USB to keep safe and then forgot at the last company I worked at. So I started looking through my emails to see if I could find the nudes. Again, very tasteful. Didn't have in my emails but found them in a Facebook message chat. So naturally I downloaded them and emailed them to myself, wanting to keep them safe. Then, not wanting my work computer to have any naked pictures on it, I made sure to move the files into the trash. Also, I thought, I must have put them in the pictures album where I keep my rotating desktop images. Sure enough, as I come back from the washroom, whose boobs do I see on my screen? A screen that faces a meeting room and the main walkway of the office. Mine. My boobs. My naked photo. At first it was just like meeting someone out of context. And then I screamed and froze with my hands on the screen, laughing but also dying inside. Someone asked what I was hiding. It's not like a naked photo, is it? They asked jokingly. Yes, that's exactly what it was. Too long, didn't read, flashed my naked body to my whole office cause I'm an idiot. Today I effed up by gutting my tits out. So I'm a girl and I have one of my nipples pierced. So obviously it's a pretty sensitive piercing, so I have to be careful with what metals I use. I had just changed the bar and whatever the new piercing was made of really irritated me, so I went to a piercing and tattoo place to get him to replace it with something else. Now, I had just moved, so I had to find a new shop, but there were plenty in my new town, so it wasn't too much hassle. I go in and pick out a new bar, and the guy says that he'll go grab it from the back since the one they have out is only for display. Now at my old shop, because it was such a sensitive piercing, they would always change it for you. So I'm a little surprised that I'm not taken into a private room, but shrug it off since there was no one else in the shop, so guess they must not be expecting anyone since they don't do walk-ins. And take my bra and top off, then sit and wait. About 5 minutes later the guy comes back, holding a very nicely packaged new bar, and his face just drops. Before I can say anything, a guy who I can only presume is his next appointment comes in, and both of them are just staring at me, sitting topless in the middle of the shop. See, yeah, turns out they usually don't fit pre-existing piercings, they do have a private back room. They were expecting someone, and I just presented my boobs to these two guys. Today I effed up by swiping on my girlfriend's phone NSFW. So this happened a few days ago and I'm still not sure why I'm 100% ready to tell the story, but here goes. I've been with my girlfriend for about a year and I already know she is the love of my life. She's perfect for me. We're perfect for each other. We're getting ready to move in with each other and I want nothing more than to start a family with her and spend the rest of my life with her. We went on a short vacation last week and when we returned she gave me her phone to look at some photos from the trip. She went to the bathroom while I had her phone, and as I was scrolling through the pictures it kind of jumped to a period that was about a year and a half ago. If you have an iPhone you know what I'm talking about. You scroll a little bit too fast and all of a sudden you're back at the start of the photo album. It's annoying as hell. But some photos caught my eye. Some photos that I really shouldn't be seeing, of her and a previous boyfriend. There she is, the love of my life, trying to get her mouth around the biggest manhood I've ever seen in my life. I've watched porn a lot. I've never seen a pee-pee like this. I'm talking bigger than 2 Coke cans stacked on top of each other. Longer and thicker. As far as I could tell she was unable to get her teeth around it. I could see another thumbnail of her comparing the size of his dick to her forearm with a look of wonder and glee on her face. I closed the pictures and I've acted like nothing has happened, but I cannot get these images out of my mind. I've never been self-conscious about my fireman size. In fact, if you believe the stats, I'm significantly above average, but this has destroyed my self-esteem. We haven't had relations since. I can't concentrate on my work. I just wish I had never seen those damn pictures. Too long, didn't read, accidentally saw some pictures of the love of my life sucking the biggest meat scepter on earth and my stupid male ego is destroyed. Update: there's a lot of people assuming that this was a one-night stand. It wasn't. She was with this guy for 3 years. Today I effed up by hiding under my girlfriend's duvet while her dad stole my porn. Okay, so this happened when I was 18, so a good 15 years ago, but it is one of those memories that will never leave me. For all you young ones out there, this was also in the days of dial-up internet, when downloading a pornographic picture literally meant waiting as each line of an image slowly appeared in your screen. Talk about building tension. As a result of this, I had a few porno magazines that I had stolen when I worked as a paperboy underage, so I couldn't buy them. My girlfriend and I liked reading the stories together and we kept them under her mattress. One night I slept over at her house, which I did on the odd occasion. It was a Friday night and she had work the next day at her weekend job in Virgin Megastores. She got up early and left for work while I stayed in bed asleep. I don't know how long I was asleep for, but I was awoken by the door opening. Confused, I just froze. My head was already under the duvet, so whoever had opened the door couldn't see me. And then it happened. I felt the mattress moving as someone fumbled around in the room. I had no idea what was going on, and inside I was freaking out. Who was in the room? Why were they there? And what were they doing? The person left the room and I lay there frozen for a while. I then made the decision that I just needed to get up, get dressed and get the fuck out. So I got dressed and headed to the door. At the very moment I opened it, the toilet flushed in the bathroom and out stepped her dad in his dressing gown with my porno mag at his side. We locked eyes. His hands quickly retreated behind his body in an attempt to hide the magazine. I gave a quick nod and darted past him and out the front door. Needless to say, we never spoke of that moment. Today I effed up by grabbing my sister's boob. This was not today, this was a few years ago. But back then I thought the internet consisted of Facebook, MySpace, YouTube and all that jazz. Reddit didn't exist in my world just yet, so that's why I'm only posting this now. But anyhow, me and my dad have a good ongoing joke about his moobs. They're not particularly large, nor is he, but it's just something we've always talked about. Whenever he would walk past me while I was on my PC, I'd reach my arm out and go, honk honk, on his man breast. He'd try to be angry, but every time he'd get a good laugh out of it instead. The honk honk, I say, is sometimes replaced by oh yeah in a weird Chinese-esque voice, mimicking something from a TV show I can't remember anymore, it's been so long. Also, he's quite the handy guy, and my room is the dining room, back room, in my house, which you have to walk through to go outside, so he'd often walk through when doing work in the garden. But yeah, so that is the backstory. Well, one day, it was pouring it down with rain. I hadn't seen my dad yet that day, so I assumed he was working on something in the shed. Then I seen him walking from the back of the garden, towards the door from my room to the garden. He had his black raincoat on, with the hood up, and he came in. Me being preoccupied by my game, I did not look at his pants or shoes. But I proceed to extend my arm, grab his breast, and go, oh yeah. It wasn't him, it was my sister. We didn't talk for a while after that, and it was sorta weird. Edit, it's safe to say I don't grab my dad's boobs anymore saying oh yeah, or honk honk. As explaining the situation to my sister goes, I waited a while and told her that I do it to dad all the time. She isn't home much, so hasn't seen me do it before, and that when she walked past in his coat, I just assumed it was him. She just said, oh okay, and that was the end of it.
Today's bonus F-up.
Today I effed up by seeing my mother's porn. My PC sits next to my stepdad's laptop in the living room. My cat likes to jump on the keyboard or the laptop and lay on it. A moment ago, he jumped up onto the keys and the screen lit up showing me to opened photo gallery. I went over and was going to close the application and then shut down the laptop. I was greeted with 3 distinct photos. One my mother and my stepdad in a threesome. The thing is, the person in the middle was my mother's best friend. I saw her eating out my own mother as my stepdad drilled the other girl. 2 my mother sucking off my stepdad in my dad's house. On the counter, where I eat. 3 more tame, but my stepdad who is bald, with a decent head of hair. I've never seen him with more than a little fuzz before. So I have to face them tomorrow with these images seared into my mind. Edit, my mother woke me up while I was operating on 3 hours of sleep and oh boy. My stepdad uses Reddit. He found this. UF has brought me to the front page. This is my first time ever here and my lord, why this post? Thanks anyway, even though my life just got a lot worse. Now I have 10k virtual clicks. Edit 2. Not 30 seconds after posting this edit, my mom said she looked at the computer and couldn't find these images, and then I got my first ever medal in this gold. F the internet man smiley face. For more videos like this and to help support me, please like and subscribe.